Hey guys, Victoria's 8th Psychic Medium coming to you from Z Office today. Um, just a real quick video on Psychic Development Part 2. I believe that's on June 24th, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a webinar that I'm doing. If you haven't seen Part 1, that's available on my video channel, and I will have a link to that. But Part 2, a little bit more advanced or more intermediate, expanding upon Part 1. And also, I have a meditation video up on my video channel. Meditation is really, really, really important to psychic development. So I'm not really going to go into that because I already did that in another session. But just so you know, check that one out. Also, it's very relevant to psychic development. So in Part 2, we're going to talk about developing trust and removing blocks. So everyone is psychic. Everyone gets information all the time. Most of the time an unconscious process that we're not really aware of. So what I want to do is to bring that up into our conscious awareness and become more aware of that. So the things that kind of prevent us from doing that, one is we don't trust it because we've kind of been taught not to trust it. So, but there are things you can do to really develop trust. One of those is practice. One of the big ones is practice, but there are other things. Removing blocks. There's a number of blocks. Probably as many blocks as there are people. Otherwise, we'd all be walking around completely psychic all the time. So, what are some of those blocks? Fear is definitely a huge one. Ego. The left brain, imagination, all kinds of things that can really get in the way. So we'll talk about how to kind of dissolve a lot of those blocks. And when we're talking about that, we have to recognize that we're speaking about several different levels of that. So mental blocks and beliefs is in the mental body, the way that you think about things. But also energetically and in the emotional body, there are blocks there also. So we will discuss how to address them on multiple levels. We'll also talk about literal and symbolic messages. So generally, you'll start to learn more about your psychic ability that you tend to be either literal or symbolic for the most of the time. So for me, I'm pretty much literal. That's my default. That's what I assume is happening. But you could be more symbolic. So determining that and how to know what's what as far as literal or symbolic. And we'll also get into accuracy and interpretation. Why something would be so-called wrong would be pretty much in how you're misinterpreting something. So that's what makes it a little bit more complicated. Accuracy is something that you're never going to have 100% with, but you can get it up there pretty well as long as you learn the best ways of really figuring out when you're accurate, when you're not, and also expectations. So this is something that, of course, gets in the way. Our expectations get in the way of a lot of things in life. It's not really too different with psychic ability. And there's just a general miseducation out there as far as what it is, how it works, and TV shows and everything else that kind of makes people get the wrong idea about things. So most likely you'll have to work on removing some of your expectations. So that is it for this time around. Just a quickie this time. Thank you guys so much for listening and for tuning in, and I will be back definitely with more videos. Blessings. Take care, guys.